why do girls say they want a nice guy?
Honestly, I don't fucking know why people say that. I'm gonna be real. I tried to answer, but I don't fucking know. I should not be able to run game on my man.
100%.
If I can run game on you, you can never be my man. Like for me, if I've got a male friend and I feel like he's wanting to fuck me all the time.
No, but let's be real though. Come on, that happens with girls all the time. Like, you know for a fact some of your male friends want to have sex with you. Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we like to talk about all things dating and relationships and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person we want. So without further ado, please welcome Inks to the show.
Hey.
How you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah? We had to get her in from the sun.
Yeah,
right?
So nice outside.
It's so gorgeous outside.
Missing the peak sun for this.
But we appreciate your energy being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I like to jump right in. So
Yeah.
tell us your age or your age range and something a guy should know about you if you want to take you on a date.
Oh, okay. So I'm 24. My age range for dating.
Oh, well, I was just
what you
saying
mean?
what your age is.
Oh,
or
right.
age range, because not everybody likes to share their age.
Oh, no, I don't care. Yeah, I'm 24, 25 in July if anyone wants to give me a present.
Okay.
And something a guy should know about me.
If he's going to take you out.
If he's going to take me out, I don't know, probably that I have quite a lot of male friends. I feel like a lot of guys don't like that.
Okay. Has that been like quite a common place of contention with guys before? They're just like, you have a lot of male friends around you?
No, it's something that they'll know. And I think maybe in like one relationship, it's been like a little bit of a insecurity. But other than that, they're all really nice guys.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Do you sound, because people have male and female friends, but do you feel like do you have like a certain amount of guy friends that you feel like you have to like disclose that? Does that make sense?
No, not that like I would have to disclose it. I mean, like if a guy's going to take me out on a date, like realistically, he's going to find out everything he needs to know on the date.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So when you said like something before they take you out, I don't know, I was just thinking something that might not like put them off or something that, do you know, if I don't know the guy,
sure. Yeah.
It's going to gauge maybe where they're at. And
you said it was kind of an issue with someone you were with before. What was the problem?
The problem was more so just that me, when I'm out networking or working or photographing or performing, I have to be sociable in that aspect. And he wasn't, like he was very like quite a reserved person, didn't want to go out a lot. But I love that about him. And I respected that. But because of that, when I'm out a lot, although the invite is to come, I want you to meet these people, especially for your own peace of mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come in and meet them.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's just it just depends on the guy as well. Like some guys, they don't care. They've also got female friends. That's cool.
Very true. Yeah. How do you feel about a guy you're with if he has a lot of female friends?
I think it depends on the female. Because I know that sounds like hypocritical because I have male friends, but don't get me wrong. I realize there are some males that be your friend waiting for a chance to hit. I can acknowledge that. Let's
be real. That's how it goes.
That is how it is. And for me, like if my real true guy friends are like the guys that interaction didn't start by them trying to move to me and stuff like that. Just genuine like friendships. Like they are my favorite. Yeah.
Ones. So if you're seeing a guy and he has a lot of female friends, you're saying it's down to the woman. Like,
it's literally down to the woman because there are so many like cool females, like, and sometimes that is how you meet some of the coolest females, like in my eyes. But also, women are tapped. Like, I'm not gonna like.
What do you mean?
Like I always say, there is like most men are dickheads, most women are tapped, and there is just that selective group in both of them. Yeah. That I can fuck with. Because honestly, like I don't have loads and loads of female friends. I have a couple real females that can I swear?
Yeah, go for
that
it.
I fuck with. But so I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
I have a couple female friends that like I genuinely fuck with. But anytime that I've been in a female friendship group, it's so toxic. They all hate each other. They're all shagging each other's boyfriends. Like it's just not for me. Like it's really not for me.
So when you say a girl's tapped, do you mean like she's crazy?
Yeah, like women will move like dangerously insane sometimes. Like I've seen it. I've seen friends that do it, you know, like not friends anymore, but like growing up, like girls that will like fake pregnancies and miscarriages, that will lie about certain stuff. Like girls do move tapped, don't get me wrong. Like some women just do. On the other hand, some women are really, really cool and
Of
beautiful.
course.
So
it's so interesting because as guys, as boys, we are very much raised with the narrative that girls can't do any wrong. So like it's such a shock to us. Like, and then you get into the real world and you hear these stories or you see something happen with a friend and stuff, and it's like, no, like girls and women, they're people too, right? Like guys, do you know what I mean? But it's like we're raised with this narrative of like, you know, they're just these perfect angels and they'll never do anything. I think that's part of the reason why some guys can fall for it, because we've been raised that they can't do any wrong.
When I was toxic, I'm saying because I've been toxic before as well.
Sure.
Like really like I know how to think, like calculated, like
what's the
nasty.
most calculated thing you have seen from a woman when she's been dealing with a guy? You talking about yourself?
Like,
she's like, well, it was me when I did this.
I mean, I'll tell you one of mine actually, because I don't want to disclose someone else's.
Okay, sure.
Just because, like, I don't feel like it's mine to tell, and they'll probably catch on if they watch it.
Okay.
So one I did when I was quite young is I was seeing this guy, and I'm from Telford, he was from Dudley. I met him through my cousin because he lived in Dudley. But I can't stand the Dudley accent. Like I just hated the way that he said my name. Like, but he was a beautiful guy and he's a really, really nice guy, don't get me wrong. Really kind. Like I did really like him. I met him on my like 17th birthday, I think it was, 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And so we started seeing each other, and then I came to stay at his for the weekend. I met his whole family. And you know what? Like, you know, when you get there and you're just not feeling it, like just something in me had shifted. And when I look back, I think I just had like a lot of anxiety and I was a bit like overwhelmed, but I didn't know how to deal with that, especially when I was younger.
Yeah, of course.
So I was thinking, yo, how do I get out of this? Because I want to go home. And I just didn't feel like I could be upfront. Like, I'll be real. I didn't feel like I was in a position to be like, oh, I want to go. I could have, but that's just not how I didn't handle it correctly.
Yeah.
And so I text my friends and I was like, listen, I'm going to save like your phone number as my mom. I said, I need you to call me at 9 a.m. I said, make up whatever madness you need to, but I need to get out of here and come home. And so I did that. She said, okay. I saved her phone number as mom. I then put my phone underneath his pillow when he fell asleep so that the phone call would wake him up in the morning. And so I could go, who's calling? And he could say, it's your mom. So he'd already know that it's my mom. Like,
okay, I'm seeing the tactical play here.
And so then it happens in the morning, the phone rings and I'm like, who is it?
Making that Oscar-winning performance, Iggs.
And he's like, oh, it's your mom. So I'm answering, I'm like talking really loud. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, are you sure? Like, do I have to come? And she's like, listen, you have to come. And then I turned to him and said, listen, I've got to get dressed. I've got to go home. Something's happened. Listen, I got a nan that I really don't like for personal reasons in it. So I was like, my nan's falling down the stairs. I was like, I need to, like, my mom's got to go look after her, blah, blah, blah. And so I said to him, like, oh, what number bus do I catch? And he's like, and like I said, he's a really nice, genuine guy, yeah. So he's like, I'm not going to let you catch the bus by yourself. He's like, I will get on the bus with you to the train station. Make sure you get on there safely. And I'm just thinking, oh my fucking God.
When chivalry backfires.
Yeah, and so like we're sat on the bus and he's just like, what is wrong with you? He's like, what's going on? He's like, you know, if you're trying to be cool to be kind, that doesn't work with me. He's like, I really like you. And he's like, why are you being off of me? And I'm just like, oh, it's just my nan. I'm worried about my nan. Like, and then it gets to the train station. He like tries to like kiss me goodbye, just like literally swerved him, got on the train.
Had you already kissed him before at this point?
Yeah,
or no?
yeah.
Okay, you had.
Swerved him, got on the train, and then ghosted him so hard. And he called my cousin, two of my cousins. He was trying to get hold of like anyone that he could find that's my family to make sure I got home okay. And then he sent me like some big thing of just like, can't believe that you've like treated me like this. I brought you into my home. I let you meet my mom. And it weighed heavy on me for a hot second. I can't lie. Like it wasn't something, at the time it was something I dismissed. Later on, it wasn't. But I said sorry to the guy literally last year.
Okay, I hear that. I mean, I think as tactical, I don't feel that the ghosting part was not great. Yeah, we get that could have been handled better. But I think the whole tactical thing of your friend calling you pretend to be your mom.
Yeah, I think that was more showing like the calculation, like how my brain would calculate a situation. I've never done a madness like
Yeah.
Like morally, that's horrific. I've always had morals.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I don't think that's that bad. Sure, you kind of made it up, but I get that. I wanted to jump back to dating a guy who has like male friends, and you're like, depends on the female, right? What would you be, if you met like his female friend, what would you be looking for to know if this is a girl that you feel you can trust to be his friend?
Of course, that's a good question. So I remember being in my first proper relationship, and he had this female friend, and any time that I was there, like, it's like I wasn't there. Like if we're both there, she'd walk up and she'd talk to him, and I don't exist. And that automatically, especially when I was younger, would put me into a place of like insecurity. And so now I'm like in my head, I'm hating on you. Like I'm like, what's your issue? So now I'm like spiraling, like what's going on? Is something going on?
Yes.
Me as a female friend with guy friends, when they get a girlfriend and like we're introduced to whatever, or they're around, I'll always try and like go out of my way to even address them first over, just to, like, I'm here for you as well. Do you know what I mean? And try and give them reassurance.
Safe. Yeah, you give them the reassurance.
And I think it's very easy to do that as a woman. And I think like women naturally hold a certain level of emotional intelligence. And I feel like girls know what the fuck they're doing, is what I'm trying to say. So if a girl is moving a bit weird, and she's your man's friend and she's moving a bit weird around him, trust that weirdness, because it's probably like, do you know what I'm saying? It's probably a reflection of something that's happened or something that she's feeling. I just work on energies and my gut, because that bitch don't lie. Do you know what I mean? Like if something's telling me if something's going on,
or maybe you're just tapped, Inks. Maybe you're just one of them tapped girls, just fucking psycho.
Maybe.
No, I completely get that, and I completely agree in that sense. You know, especially when a girl does go out of her way to make the other girl feel safe. Be like, I'm his friend, but I'm also building a relationship with you. That just decreased the chance of you seeing her as, I don't say a threat, but almost as a risk maybe to the relationship. Though I would ask, if he's already friends with her, and this is what I say to guys as well, if they date a girl who has a lot of male friends, right? If he was already friends with her, if something was going to happen, don't you think it would have happened already? So like, if nothing's happened while he's single, surely now while he's with you, which is obviously someone that he wants, surely it's less likely to happen then, right?
Of course it's less likely to happen. I think that's what I mean by it depends on the woman. I feel like if you're getting in a relationship with a man, you know he has female friends.
Yeah.
That's that. What I mean by like it depends on the woman is how she will act around me. Like I've been in a situation where I've had like a female friend that I could tell really likes my boyfriend, and at any point it was, oh no, I'll go ask him or I'll go talk to him, and I could like, and I was in my head, I was like, I will never leave you in a room with my man alone, because the thing is, you know, imagine there's something like alcohol involved and she, like the girl comes on to him, like, and it happens like.
But it takes two to tango. Would you not?
Of course it does.
Because it's on him as well. If that happens, right?
Of course it does. Of course it does. Do not get me wrong.
Yes.
But like I said, I feel like a lot of women can be hella sneaky. Yo, guys can be sneaky too. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not just straight bashing women here.
No, of course.
But like I've just experienced a lot of it, and I'm really wary. And I just, like I said, I just work off energies. So if the energy is nice from the get go, I don't really feel like I've got anything to worry about. But if I feel a little bit of like, oh, I'm thinking like, why are you moving like that? Or why can you not stop touching my man in front of me? Do you know what I mean? It's like certain things like that. I will.
Being very tactile.
Yeah, I will watch. The first time that I meet like a female friend or something of a guy I'm seeing, I will just observe how she acts knowing that she's meeting me for the first time. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think
I just
that's very
observe
smart.
the whole thing.
100%.
And then what I will also observe is how he handles it. Like if he thinks if I see something that I'm like, I feel disrespected, I'm going to be clocking how he's reacting to her touch or how he's reacting to the, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just gauge where I think their level of friendship is at.
I get that. I do think it's important. I think 100% that's the best way to go into that situation, because you're going in eyes open, but you're not going in making assumptions, which is great.
Yeah.
I think one thing, if you're meeting her for the first time, i.e. you're seeing their friendship for the first time, I think, especially if because some people are quite tactile, do you know what I mean? And some people aren't. So some people can be quite tactile with their friends. Obviously there's to certain degrees, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying if she's like straddling him, he's like, oh, it's just my friend, do you know what I mean? That's a bit weird.
Yeah. But
some people can be quite tactile in that sense. So I guess there's going to be a level of you seeing how their friendship operates, and there could be something in the friendship where it does kind of make you feel a type of way, but that's not because there's something there. That's just because how they are.
I
You see what I'm
completely
saying?
agree. Yeah, I completely agree.
So I want to ask you, if you are dating a guy and you meet a few of his female friends, and there's this one friend of his who very clearly, by your intuition, by what you see, etc., very clearly is into him, how do you handle that situation?
I just let him know exactly what I think.
Okay.
And like I've had it before. After like I met, I said, this friendship, like, has anything ever happened before? No. Are you aware that she's wants to fuck you? And he said, yeah, she's a bit like over the top, isn't she? And then that was a red flag for me, because if you've got someone around you that wants to fuck you so bad, like for me, if I've got a male friend and I feel like he's wanting to fuck me all the time.
No, but let's be real though. Come on, that happens with girls all the time. Like, you know for a fact some of your male friends want to have sex with you.
Not my closest male friends. No, for real, no. And if I thought that they were trying, that's not a male friendship to me, because I've been in male friendships where you think you have a friendship with them and then they turn around and they're just waiting for a chance to fuck. That's not a friendship to me. Like, on a real, that's not what I think friendship is.
I agree. So so I've, you know, we have different levels of friendships, right? Like, we've got our close friends, and we have people who maybe we'd call friends because we're cool,
I know
right?
what you mean.
So you're saying in your close male
My
friends,
close friends,
you're saying none of them, if given the opportunity, none of them would be intimate with you.
I don't think they would. Not my closest male friends, no. I would say there's others that like I'm friends with or we know through the scene that probably would, but like my close unit, I don't think they would.
So I'm guessing in the scenario I was talking about, you're saying if it was one of his close friends who clearly wanted him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you're always going to have people that want to sleep with your man, and vice versa. I mean, if it's someone that's really close to you and is operating in your really close circle, and you don't establish a boundary or something like that, that's what would like be a bit more of like a red flag to me.
Yeah. So basically, when you said to him, like, are you clear that this girl basically wants you? And he was like, yeah, I kind of gathered she's a bit over the top. What happened from there?
Not a lot. I just kind of like, I mean, we didn't go on we didn't go on to see each other like further for other reasons, not like because of that. Yeah. But yeah, it was just, I said to him and he was just like, yeah, like I kind of like get that vibe off her. But she was just like hella touchy-feely all the time and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it's just a bit, it's a put off to me. I can't lie. It's just a bit of like if I'm like standing there and like go like your closest friend, like all over, it's just like, it's just a bit of a ick. Like, I hate the word ick, but it is a bit of an ick.
I do get that. I get that. When was the last time like a male friend wanted more with you?
Male friend wanted more. Maybe like a year ago.
Okay. How did you handle that?
We had it was when I was single.
We had sex.
No, we didn't. We actually didn't.
Joking.
We actually didn't. We had been friends for a bit before, but you know when like you know how you said there might be something in a friendship, but there's nothing there, but you might feel a type of way because it seems like there's like some type of energy. Well, we both recognized that, and like we went out on like we spent time together like on a date or whatever. Yeah, and then we just didn't, and we had a conversation and we just said like we just respect our friendship like that, and that was it. And
yeah, no, 100%. I hear that.
That's literally it.
Do you feel that, you know, when you said about how some people can move, do you feel that's very prevalent because you're an artist, right? Singer-songwriter, right? So do you feel like it's very prevalent in that industry, in those circles?
Yeah, do you know what? I feel like, I mean, a lot of people might disagree with my opinions because your life might be completely different.
Sure.
But I feel like definitely in like the people that I spend time with, my friends, like what we all do, I think you have to be like really respectful and boundaries and stuff, because it's tough. Like, I can't lie.
How
it's
crazy
tough.
does it get in those circles in terms of like the artists and songwriters, and because it's such a competitive industry, right? Because everyone's trying to get seen, get their music out, be seen with the right person, connect with the right producer, be connected to the right person who's going to play your track here and there. So, and a lot of and correct me if I'm wrong, just because I've got a few friends who are artists, like a lot of people will use whatever they have to their advantage if they can. Does that make sense? So it's like, okay, well, if a guy is going to give you an opportunity or give a girl an opportunity because he thinks there's potential for something there to happen, some people might just use that for advantage, right? And
not me.
I'm not saying you do.
No, I'm just saying like I'm hot on that. Like I feel like this is my experience. Yeah, just straight up mine. As like me being like female rapping and stuff and whatever, you get a lot of guys that will pretend to fuck with what you do, pretend to really rate you as an artist just because they want to try and fuck you. And you'll get other people that, this is a big one for me. I'll get guys that will constantly like try slide in the DMs, hit up, and then a month ago, and then boom, I want to work together. This. You think I'm replying to you? You think I want to work with you? I've just seen that you've tried to move to me for like 6 months solidly, and now you think I'm going to work? No. Like if you're coming to me and you actually respect my craft, you're going to come to me on a business thing. Even if like you think that I'm beautiful or you might want to take me out, your morality should overcome that. And if you actually respect me as an artist and want to work with me as an artist, you will come to me on that level. Do you know what I'm saying?
I guess it's what it's showing is if he approached you in like a romantic way first and then the professional, he's prioritizing the romantic over the professional. And
that's not
I get that.
what I'm trying to do.
Like you wouldn't, why would you would rather choose someone who's obviously going to prioritize the professional? Yeah. Would it be different for you then if somebody was like, oh, I actually really do respect your craft and you're kind of low-key inspiring? Right, because it's very common that talent is very attractive, right? And if somebody's confident, they're making
people can be respectful about it. Yeah,
of course.
There's a respectful way of saying anything, really.
Would it be better for you if somebody generally approached in a professional way, and then when they met you and stuff, they're like, oh, actually, I would like to potentially explore something here? Would you not be open to that because it's professional?
I wouldn't, if they approached me first to work, and then they respectfully were like, what's your situation? Like, I would like, and just to see where I'm at, that's fine, because like, if I'm really feeling the person, like I truly believe in like love, do you know what I mean? And love just happens. And if that happened, or like I started to feel a type of way, then maybe I would be open to explore it if I didn't feel like it was going to severely jeopardize what we were doing, like business wise.
Yes.
But then same way, it would have to be done in a respectful way, so that if that's not what I wanted, we can continue working after I say like, that's not actually what I'm looking for or what I want to do.
Have you ever mixed business with pleasure?
Yeah, I have mixed business with pleasure before. Not like proper business, but just, this was like when I was toxic. This was.
I feel like I need to get that inks on. I need to get toxic inks on. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, it was. I can't lie. I just come out of a relationship, like a small relationship. So it wasn't very long, but it was a very good relationship, very healthy one. And we separated just because cultural differences, and he was moving down. He was Muslim, and that's not my faith. And we kind of got into it knowing that, and so we tried to not even let it get to that point. But like when you fall in love with someone, you just fall in love. That's just how it works. Yeah, but he also moved back down to London. And then, so I was kind of in my feels about that. And I started seeing a guy who I'd like known, I'd met a few times at like events and stuff. And we'd said that we were going to like, should we link up to write some music or whatever? And we ended up seeing each other, but like, I just never really liked him like that. And don't get me wrong, like I told him from the start and that. But yeah, I just never, it's like, I don't know why I even, now in the mental space that I'm in now, I look back and I'm like, why would I even entertain it? Because it actually, I think, turns me into like a horrible person. If I'm dealing with a man that I know like really likes me and I don't like him, like if I can have him running circles around me, I will, and then I'll point and laugh at you for running. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I was, and I would be mean, like, and I just didn't care. It's just because I didn't like the guy.
I hear you, and while I don't justify that toxicness, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong and tell me what you think about this. I think what you're doing as a woman is you are A, seeing if you can manipulate him, and B, you are testing his boundaries to see if he respects himself.
Yeah,
Because if he doesn't
and they
respect
don't.
himself, you can't respect him.
I should not be able to run game on my man.
100%.
If I can run game on you, you can never be my man.
It's
And
true.
the thing is,
It's
from the
true.
get-go, I will test the man that I'm with.
Yeah.
I will do little tests. I will do this because it's like naturally like there, and I want to see if you're going to take it and how you're going to handle it, and like
agree.
what level of like you've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you can't recognize that you're being played, like it's game over.
The thing is though, I think some women it's intentional, like it's conscious. I think some it's subconscious, but I think most women do this.
Yeah, I think it goes like I was subconsciously doing it. I still do it, but now just consciously, I'm like, I want to see how you're going to handle this. I want to see. I used to do it in a toxic way though, like push buttons.
Yes.
Now it's like I don't really know how to give an example, but I will just try and do it in a way that I can just see how they would handle a certain situation, if that makes sense. Testing in that sort of way.
I hear that.
Used to be a bit more like.
And I hear that. Why? Why do you do it? Why do women do it?
I'll be real with you. My dad told me from being a kid, he's like, you can never be with a man until you've seen how he handles you in anger, how he speaks to you and handles you when he's sad, all these different types of things. And I have a really good dad and he's an amazing man. So for me, I'm always testing to see, just to see if you can, to see what level of man you are, like to see if.
Because the thing is, like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I think a lot of the time there's a lot of narrative that men hear about girls and women saying that they just want a good guy, a guy who shows up for them, a guy who's consistent, all of this stuff. But this thing, which is actually quite an important aspect to a woman choosing a man, has nothing to do with his character. He could be a good guy, he could be a great guy, he could be a nice guy, he could be a terrible guy. But this is actually testing essentially this is testing almost the caliber he is as opposed to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he has a level of self-worth in himself, and he knows that he's building value in himself, there's this certain stuff he would just not tolerate. And that's almost what you're testing for.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, the girls go like, I want a nice guy, a consistent guy. Let me tell you, if you have a really nice guy that wants to do everything and it's like, like yes inks, no inks, 3 bags full inks. It's like,
Yeah, women don't want a yes man.
You don't want a yes man, especially me, like somebody like me. I need someone that's going to put me in my place.
Yes,
in like a good way, and keep me in check. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of person that I need.
100%. Why do you think? I agree. I think more girls are like that in a sense that they want a guy who's good to them, but they don't want a yes man.
Yeah.
Why do you think girls say, I just want a nice guy then? Because for the guy who doesn't know women, and for the guy who maybe isn't as experienced, he's just gonna take the guidance as the letter. So he's like, okay, cool. Well, if I'm just nice, then you will like me. And then what happens when a nice guy is nice and the girl doesn't like him? He becomes resentful because he's like, well, I fucking did what you said that you want, but you're choosing this guy who doesn't even treat you right. And we can see, or at least I can see, okay, well, she's choosing him because not because he's nice, but because he's capable. Because he respects himself.
Yeah.
And because he treats her well, but
and
he
I've
can
done
put
it. Like,
do you know what I mean?
I've done it. I've gone for a guy that necessarily isn't as nice to me as that guy is.
Yeah.
But I got so much more respect for this guy.
100%.
It's literally, for me, it's a respect thing. Like, because I don't like, now, like I don't date or anything for anything casual. Like if I'm going to invest my time or anything into you,
Yes.
I'm looking long term, and I'm always going to be thinking, are we going to be like, compatible in like a household?
Yes.
And how the dynamic would be. And I think that the man has to be like respected in the household. So if I can't respect you, our kids ain't going to respect you.
It's very true.
And, my mom was a bit toxic growing up sometimes. Love with all my heart though, just in case she watches it. But, and there was moments of that as well where like, she might bash my dad against me. And I hated that. I hated that growing up. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's something that I'd never want repeated in my household. It should be the mom and dad are up here, and the respects they have for each other relays through the children.
I agree, 100%. So yeah, why do girls say they want a nice guy?
Because they want someone, they're like, Honestly, I don't fucking know why people say that. I'm gonna be real. I tried to answer, but I don't fucking know because I don't say.
I don't even fucking know.
I'm gonna say I don't say like I want a nice guy. Like I say
Have you ever said that?
I don't fucking know. Maybe once. I don't know.
Okay.
I've probably once said it from my life. I'm not gonna say no.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering, like, when you did say it, like, what place were you in? What you operating from? Why were you saying it? Because I think that. Because a lot of guys do take cues from that and it can mess them up.
A nice guy, okay, this consideration is the highest form of love, like in my eyes, like someone that considers you in their thoughts, in their life, like in their future or whatever. So for me, when say like you want a nice guy, it's just I want someone that I also respect, yeah, but you can get people that you respect, but they don't treat you that great, but you can respect like how they handle their stuff and how they do their biz, and that's where the respect stems from.
Yeah.
But it's like you want them to have that gentleness with you. It's like that you want your man to have that sort of softness with you while standing firm on everything else.
Yes.
Like you can't just be soft. Like you can't just be nice. You got to have that. I'm just doing actions here. Like you just got to have the for your girl, but also the girl's got to feel safe. Like she's got to know that. For
100%.
me. Like, not that I would feel like I'd ever be in a position to say it, but like, just so you kind of get the premise.
Yes.
I would, if a man came to me and tried to be mad, I would need to turn around and say, are you fucking crazy? Like, because I know that my man is, are you fucking crazy? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And be able to have that security that I am protected.
Yes.
Like, so yeah, that's
I think
the
the analogy I give, I think perfectly kind of depicts the differentiation between what I would call a nice guy and a good guy. And it's kind of like, imagine if you have a house and you're looking for a guard dog. You're not just going to get the dog that's just nice to everyone, because when the burglar comes, the dog's like, hey, let me show you where everything is. Just like invites them in, right? But at the same time, you don't want the dog that is, sure, he's capable of taking someone out, but he's like just aggressive and taking everybody out because you want him to love you and your family. You want to choose a dog that is capable of taking out the intruder, but is good to you and your family, right?
Morals, morality.
Yeah.
It's just all on your character. Like, and you can fall in love with someone's character, like 100%.
100%. What I'm referring to is that you want someone who's capable, but chooses the right avenue to be capable in. And I think what happens is when guys hear a girl say, oh, I just want a nice guy, sometimes a guy thinks, oh, she just wants a guy who's not going to display any level of what we might call toxic capability. So it's like, she doesn't want the guy who can fight. She wants the guy who's not going to fight. When really, she wants the guy who can fight, but then just chooses not to.
Yeah, so I saw a video a few weeks ago and this guy was getting a lot of stick because he was like, oh, your girl should like be with you and like want to know that you could kill her like with your strength, yeah? And he was getting loads of hate for that. And I was like, what are these bitches on? Like, of course, when I'm wrapped up in my man's arms, I want to know that if he went, he could kill me. I want that level of strength wrapped around my arms to know that he ain't never going to do that to me.
100%.
But anyone else, I know the strength that lies there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's big.
Yeah, 100. What's something you want to talk about today or bring to conversation?
What's something that I want to talk? Hold on, you just spun me off.
I know. I'll put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. Something that I want to talk about. Give me a second, because you know when someone asks you what your favorite song is, and then like you can't remember what a single song is.
Well, what did I write most recently? That one. Is there any situation where a guy did something that you just really didn't understand why? That you just didn't understand, like figure him out?
So many times. Do you know what? So many times.
Give me one. Let's break it down.
Do you know what? Fuck this shit. So last year, yeah. This is the final guy, because I came to a realization after this, a huge awakening. The final guy that I ever entertained just because he liked me a lot and was a nice guy. This was the last nice guy, which turned out he's not a nice guy at all. He's a fucking weirdo.
Interesting.
The last nice guy I ever gave a chance, yeah?
Yes.
Now, I met him on a night out and he was like, you're really beautiful, can I have your number? And instantly for me, it was a no.
Why?
Like, just the vibe, like there was no instant
weren't attracted to him?
energetic. Wasn't that attracted to him, but that's not always a huge thing. Like he wasn't unattractive.
Sure.
I just wasn't like really attracted to him.
Yeah.
But energy wise, there just wasn't that natural like energy. You know what I'm saying?
you
Like
weren't
for
feeling
real. So I said no, and he was, on my case. He was turning up at places I was performing to come see me. And then like he put on a little show, asked me to perform and whatever. And then there was an after party, and he just kept putting it to me like, I'm just gonna be real, like I like you. And it was like eventually wearing me down, where I was like, shit, he likes me so fucking much, I might as well just give the guy a fucking chance. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so then we started like spending a little time with each other. And I'd just like to disclaim, because this guy he moves mad in the story. Yeah. This guy never hit. He moves this mad. I never slept with him. Yeah. He just like, I couldn't understand why he moved like this. Yeah.
Okay.
And so basically he like, one of the first times that we're spending time with each other, he's like, I kept getting ringing in my left ear. Yeah. Constant ringing. And I don't get that around people. And I was like, yo, I feel like this is some form of like warning or some, like, I just felt it in my core. I'm like that anyway. And so I was trying to talk to him about it, like, yo, I have this ringing in my ear. And he just started going off like, oh, like why you believe in this or why you believe in that? And I was like, yo, I'm just questioning why my body's reacting a type of way to your presence. You know what I'm saying? And then basically it all kind of kicked off when I had a performance, and he wanted to come and see me perform, and I had some of my friends there and whatever. And I was like, yeah, of course you can come. Like you can meet my friends. But I didn't, because like we'd literally seen each other like once or twice.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have all my friends think this is my guy instantly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I'm not really
course.
like that, and I'm really private. It's going to be a while before like...
You're not at that stage yet.
Yeah, just 100%.
Yeah.
And so I said, I don't really want people to like know what's going on. Like, we're happy to vibe all night, but just don't be like over the top with anything.
Yeah.
And so then all the people are turning up, and he's sat in the corner with a face like a smacked ass, and like when you just feel the energy is just like, oh, and I'm just like, yo, what is this guy's problem? Like what's going on? And so then I'm just vibing, having a good time, trying to bring him in case he's feeling a bit like insecure or whatever, because I get how it can be like, so I'm trying to bring it in, bring the vibe up and all that sort of stuff. And then I perform, and as soon as like I finished performing, my friend was like, oh, yo, that was a sick performance, like love the tune. I was like, yeah, love, man. Then walked over to him, and he's like, I've been trying to show you these photos that I've just taken of you, and you're not even coming over to me first. I was like, yo, what the like,
okay.
Like, what the hell? I was like, I didn't even stop to talk to my friend. I was like continuously walking while talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, show me them then. Like, I didn't even react. I was just like, okay, show me them then. And he's like, nah, I'm going to show you later. And I was just like, what is going on?
Right.
More of my friends turn up. And then we're all sat outside talking, and he comes over and he's like, what are you talking to so-and-so about? Like being like just really weird. And I was,
as in to one of your friends?
One of
or
my
like
friends.
Like
we just sat, we was literally talking about sleep paralysis. Like we were sat on a bench.
Oh, was it a male friend?
Yeah. And he comes over and he's like, what are you talking to so-and-so about? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, huh?
Does he know this guy's your friend?
Yeah. He knows him as well. Like he also knows of him, had him perform at an event. Like he's not a stranger to half these people.
Sure.
And so I'm just like, what? Like, why are you even asking me that? Like we was literally like talking about dreams, like sat on the bench. And he just like says, oh, well, I was speaking to some of your other friends and getting advice off of them, and they said that this is how I need. And I was just like, what? This guy, the first time he met my friends, he didn't like the way I was acting, and he didn't think I was it. He went to my friends, and this is what they told me that he said. He was like, do you agree with my behavior of tonight? And is he in the right? And how should I handle me, because he's struggling to handle me? And
that's the first time he's met your friends. Yo,
this was like
balls,
the third
boy.
time. This was the third time we spent time together.
That's courage.
I felt sick. I was furious. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, yo, like leave. Yeah, like this is. I'm going to, this is crazy. Like, you cannot move like this, because could you imagine if you you've just started seeing a girl and like you bring her to an event and she gets an attitude. So she goes to all of your friends and like, do you think it's okay that you'd move crazy. You'd move absolutely crazy.
So I completely agree with you. I do think if this situation were reversed, if I invited a girl somewhere that we've just started dating, but that night isn't about us spending time.
It's literally about me performing. Yeah.
Right. But she's going to think it's about me and her spending time. And if I'm not prioritizing that, she's going to feel a type of way. And I think what happened, I'm not saying this justifies his behavior.
I understand what you're saying.
But I think there was clearly a different level of expectation of what that night was. He thought he was your guest, and you were inviting him as like your +1 to your event and stuff, and that you were going to, not that you have to display as a couple, but that you were going to be prioritizing spending time with him, being there with him, because he was there for you, right?
Respectfully, he shouldn't have thought that, because I literally said before,
yeah, of course.
Boom, 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 boom. And he just made it all about, I see it as a very selfish thing, because I'm performing, this is my business, I'm representing myself as an artist tonight, and you are making it all about you. For what?
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast, and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
I get that, and I agree with you. I agree, because I've been in that situation. I think it's different when they are our guests at an event and where they're just coming to an event that we're going to be at. Those are two different things. So if I'm doing shit, because I'm an actor, right? Like I do theater, like I do shows, right? So if I've got a press night, which is why I have to network and all this stuff, right? As you do for your circles. If I invite a date to come to my press night, so the reason she is there is because she's my guest. And then if I'm then not attentive to her, she's definitely going to feel a type of way, because she's going to be like, why did you invite me if we're not actually going to spend some kind of time together? Now, I may dip in and out, and, you know, I can say to her, well, and this does happen, right? Like on press nights, oh, well, just so you know, like, it's the press night, so my agent's probably going to bring a director or like a producer that I'll have to talk to. There's going to be other people in the press that I'll have to talk to, like network and stuff. And she might understand that. But then if it looks like when I do have free time, I'm prioritizing giving time to like friends, especially if it's a female friend that she doesn't know that well, or all of this, right? She's 100% going to feel a type of way. That doesn't justify his behavior.
I agree, and I disagree. I feel like I agree with what you said, but I also disagree, because for me, the level that I operate at, I've just told you exactly how the fuck it is. If your brain now as a man cannot grasp that I'm performing, and the thing is like, it wasn't even that he was coming with me that night. He was like, oh, I'll roll through to your thing. And then because I was I passed his house anyway. I was like, do you know what? I can just grab you. Like, and so it wasn't even like he was meant to initially like arrive with me. And I feel like I shouldn't have to explain, listen, I might have to go do this. We're working in the same space. We work in the same sort of environments. You should very much know like what's up. And it's not my job to have to explain all these things to you. Like, he was just way too in his emotions about everything. And like, he continued to like argue with me throughout the night, and how I finally got rid of him was when we was all on the rooftop at the end of because I'm thinking, now these are like my friends, you've now caused something, why are you still here? Like, I went to the shop, I came back and he was still here, and I'm thinking, are you crazy? Like you're absolutely killing my vibe at this point, like get out of my face. And then he sat just trying to talk to me on the rooftop, going on and on and on. And I've mentally checked out at this point. As soon as I see how you have handled yourself in public, I'm already mentally gone. And he's just like going off on this, going off on that, saying like all this mad stuff. And I was like, you know what? I put my foot down. I was like, you should go. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. And then I was like, okay, bye. And he's like, oh, what, you're not gonna walk me out? And I was thinking, for fuck. Because he's just gonna, as soon as we get in the elevator, he's going, I can't believe how you've handled tonight. I cannot believe your behavior. I cannot believe this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like this is the third time we spent time together. Like it was so wild to me. Like,
That's a lot.
it's in the space of a week as well. Like yeah, like it's really was really weird.
I get that.
And as soon as the elevator door opened, he carried on talking, like expecting me to walk him. I just closed the elevator door, went back because you had to have a lock, so you had to have the key. I just closed the elevator door, went back upstairs, phone on do not disturb, and just had a good night,
Phone
man.
on do not disturb, you know. Like,
And then,
you
yeah,
cannot
and do you know what? I
reach
got
me,
like
boy.
an actual eight-page essay of him like 2 days later.
I can imagine. Okay, like I said, this doesn't
Jokes.
justify, and I completely
I
get your
get what you're
perspective.
saying. Like,
I want to ask you
I
something though.
understand that. Go on.
Before he started doing all this behavior and stuff like that, right, on that night,
Mm-hmm.
do you think if you were really into him, right? Because you said the reason he was there and that was the thing was because he kept really like.
That's a whole different other aspect.
Do you think you would have been more attentive to him that evening?
I think that's hard to say because I'm busy. Do you know what I mean? Like like I'm just doing my thing. And even if like it was a guy that like I was just like, I still won't allow myself to act like that when I'm like performing. I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very private, and especially if it was new, because I wouldn't then want people to be asking questions if we're not seeing each other in 2 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them.
Okay, I think, and you can disagree. I do think that not that you would have changed how you moved that night, because yeah, like when you're working, you're being professional, etc. You're doing that, but I think part of the reason why you wouldn't have been as attentive was because you weren't that into him. And
I think there's defo an aspect of that. Like it has to be because I initially didn't want to.
And him being, like I said, this doesn't justify his behavior, but him being like, you know, trying to talk to you on the rooftop, him be like, oh, you're not gonna like walk me out and stuff. He's looking for reassurance that you like him. That's why he's doing that. And when you don't, and when someone, but when you don't like someone,
I know, I get it,
and they're doing it, that's even worse.
I get it. No, I get it. And the thing is, he was just like, he was just acting like, you know, I like a lot of girls act the way he acts. Like I just saw it as a very like
that is true
because like as soon as we got up there, before like people were arriving, he was just like taking himself to the corner to sit with a face like a smacked ass. Like, and so I'm then having to come away from the vibe to bring him in, and I'm constantly trying to do that. And then it's like what I find with a lot of men, and I feel like he was another one of these men, is like I'm aware that I have like a big energy. Mm-hmm. I'm aware of all that stuff. Some people don't like it. Like just don't chat to me then. Do you know what I mean? But so I am aware of that. And for me, it's like a lot of these guys, they are attracted to the fire. Like they're attracted to it. And then as soon as they've like got it, like they want to put it out and they want to keep it to something that like they feel secure enough to like handle, sort of thing. That's why I need a really self-secure man that I can't run game on and stuff like that, because that's how I'm going to be able to have a healthy relationship, not with someone that's insecure and is going to try and make me less of me. Do you know what I'm saying?
So do you feel, because obviously I'm guessing, and you tell me, in your line of work, you probably do meet a lot of guys who are quite confident, quite charismatic, kind of like you, right? Like they're fine being center of attention, and that can be quite attractive. Do you ever date those kind of guys then? Like how is it when you've done that?
I haven't. I can't lie. Most of the guys I've dated are like the one that's quiet in the corner of the room, that's sitting there. The one that all the other people like can't get access to. Like so I like them inaccessible. Do you know what I mean? So
is it that because you know, young attractive women, you'd have options. Mm-hmm. So you're choosing that kind of man, right? It's not that you can't choose the guy who's kind of like you, right? But you are choosing that kind of guy. Why are you not choosing the guy who has a more similar temperament to you?
I think if I just haven't met someone with a similar temperament that I like that yet. I feel like it's not a case of like I would only choose that guy.
Of course.
That's just kind of what the guy that I end up being with kind of is like that. And I think it's to do with balance as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you got two massive energies, can benefit. There's cons as well to it. But I definitely think it's just like, if I met someone like that and I really vibed with them and we had that spark, then that's just that.
I get that.
Like I think we've all got types, and like we've all got like, you know, in an ideal world, like what you'd have as a partner, but you've never given a guy, because you get hit on by those kind of guys too.
And like you said, you didn't even really like this guy at first.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, all right, he was really into me. He's really making an effort. Let me give it a chance. But it sounds like you've never given a chance for the other guys who are maybe used to being center of attention, all that. So like, why has that never happened? Why have you never given those guys a chance?
Never. I don't like approach guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will just like, it's always been a thing of like, if they come to me, then cool. Now, although like I might vibe, or I might have like had like really nice energy with like a guy who's had high energy before.
Yeah.
I can't really say that they've like come to me on that level. And also a lot of the time, if they do, them type of guys, it's like just sex, and I'm just not interested in that.
Got you.
So yeah, I think it literally just
I get
depends.
that.
I'd never say no, I wouldn't end up with one type of person.
Yeah, of course.
Because say like, you know, my ex absolutely would not have expected to have been with him. And I did. And even the ex before that, I wouldn't have expected to have fallen for him. But I did. Like they're all very different people. They don't look alike. Personalities are different. I think it's just like the vibration that you're vibrating currently, you attract that person. And
yeah, I get that. So essentially, would it be fair to say that a lot of the time when guys who have been the center of attention kind of temperament, they've just been approaching you in a casual way, and you're like, I'm just not here for that.
Yeah, and I think what you get with the guys that like center of attention, charismatic, usually they're quite good looking, like you get like a lot of pretty boys and stuff.
Yeah.
They're used to women that drop at their feet. Like they're used to, you know, like girls that will do whatever. And so they kind of like it, almost like expect like just casual sex and that. And me, I'm a deep person. I can't give people access to me like that. Like it's just not how I operate. So, and the people, and just like based off my past, the people that I have ended up in relationships with have always been the more reserved or the quieter guys. And that's just how it's been.
I hear that. I think like, you know, I completely get with that particular evening, that scenario, how he definitely could have handled himself better.
Yeah.
I do think that the same way how you were like, oh, you can't like me being center of attention, say that's attractive, and then you don't want that to be me when we're together. I completely get that, right? And I agree. But I do think there is an element of, okay, if you know they're a bit reserved, they're a bit of an introvert, and they are at an event for you, I don't think we can be surprised if they have a level of expectation for us to be more attentive to them. Especially if they're
I get it,
and
what I'm saying? They can expect whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get it. And I do think that you're correct in what you said of like, I think you're correct in what you said is like, if I liked him a bit more, but I also think that not even if I liked him a bit more, but if it was just like a month further down the line, like this was literally like a week or two into us getting to know each other. So for me, that's way crossing my boundaries anyway. Like I barely know you. So why do you feel so entitled to this and this from me? Like, it's not like I was like, yeah, right, we're going to be together. I literally said, okay, like we'll get to know each other.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like stepping in as if it was already like a done deal. And so that is just like, no,
I get that. I get that completely. You know how you saying before about how, you know, are you a woman of faith? Like, do you believe in God, or are you religious to some degree, or like what's that about?
So I have a relationship with God. I haven't always like had a relationship with God. It's more of like within the past year sort of thing. I've been in and out. As a kid, I used to fall asleep praying to God in my head, and then kind of went out of it. And I went to Mormon church with my aunt, and it was just, it's not for me. It was not for me.
I get that.
And then I hated religion for ages. I really hated it. And I just saw it as like a form of control, all this type of stuff. Became really like spiritual. And then I just had I went through some really shit stuff. And I just had such a call into God. And then I feel like ever since I really like invested into building a relationship with God, I feel better. Like, well, you know, when people say like God saves you, I used to never get it. Like I used to think the church has got you, like if someone would say that, but until you experience it, and it's a really beautiful thing. Like God saves me like on the daily, like still. And not just that, but stuff in my career has been going better, opportunities, life in general, just the way that like my mindset is like, and that's gratitude to God for it.
And you don't have to share if you don't want to, but what inspired this transition for you to start moving down a path that maybe you didn't expect yourself to?
It was just like, so after, I won't go into it, but like after something like happened, I was just like, felt just like so lost inside myself. And also because I was very spiritual, I didn't feel safe though, if that makes sense. And when you do these spiritual practices, there's a lot of things that you don't even know you're opening portals, you're opening sort of things. And like, my nan used to do Ouija boards with me when I was a kid.
Wow.
So I'm very aware that like stuff has been opened up to me since a child.
Yeah.
Always suffered with sleep paralysis, loads of different stuff.
Wow, yeah.
And so then for me, when I started like turning to God, the one thing that made me realize like, wow, like this is real.
Yes.
Is my son had been having nightmares.
Yeah.
Every night. And he kept saying like, you know, this is in my dream, this is in my dream. And so when I put him to bed one night, this thing that I used to say when I was really little, maybe like 5 or 6, suddenly come into my head. And so I started saying this like little prayer thing over him. And the next morning he came running into my bedroom and he just went, "Mummy, me had happy dreams last night. God protected me in my dreams." And this like feeling just rushed over my body and it just made me start crying. And I was just like, wow. And I was just moved. Like I just genuinely felt God within me at that moment, like the presence.
Yes.
And yeah, I've had many moments like that since. So.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. How has that changed the way you move in the dating scene and when it comes to relationships and love?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, what were you like before and how are you now since that?
Like, I think what I was like before, it's not that like I've changed so much, it's just more like I understand more.
Yes.
Like, and I feel like the closer you get with God, the more you understand really what love is and like the love that you want in your life. And so for me, the more that I've been doing that, it's just like anything that doesn't sort of align with that, I'm just not entertaining it and just take my thoughts to God instead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's something that you did before that you wouldn't do now? When it comes to like guys or dating?
Lots of stuff. Like I was very manipulative before, not always aware that I was being manipulative though. But then you become self-aware that you're doing it, and now it's like I've been in the process of just really trying to elevate, and I don't even know how to explain it, just love myself more in a way that reflects better in dating as well. Like, so if a guy would come to me before and he'd be like, "I feel like you did this," or "I feel like you acted like this," I'd be hella defensive. I'd be like, "Nah." And I'd be really dismissive because I'm now feeling insecure and rejected.
Right.
I'm dismissing it. I'm like, "Nah," and I'm really cold and now I'm a bitch. Now I'm probably gonna cuss you out and be horrible, yeah?
Right.
Whereas like these days, if a guy brings something to me and I care about this guy, and any relationship now that I'm going to entertain, I am going to care about it and be invested.
Yes.
So now if he comes to me with like, "I feel like you were like this," and rather than acting out of ego and emotion, and now just saying, okay, and I take it home with me. I don't react to it in the moment. I just take it home with me. I sit with it and I think like, why did I act like that? I'll take myself out of my perspective, just look at it as like a neutral position, and kind of pick apart me and like why I did it so I can understand myself better. And you know, there's been times where I agree or I disagree, and it's not always like you're wrong, but just I'm now happy to pick apart myself and my own behavior in order to be a better person for that person. Do you know what I'm saying? Because unless you both do that, it's not going to go anywhere. And pride is a big one, like ego, pride. Like I don't like having that at all. And I used to only operate out of ego in relationships. And now if I feel like I'm talking to your ego, I don't even want to entertain the conversation. I want to talk to you, like, and same way I'm going to give you me. I don't want to be talking from ego either.
I think that level of awareness that you have is, this sounds really cringe, but I think it's so transcending for the frequency you then start to operate that. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying, because it really shifts. When you start to think like that, like the rest of your life shifts as well. Like all of it. It's and it's great. Like it's really good because I don't think there's anything better than just being so aware of like yourself, people around you, like you feel powerful, not in like not in a bad, powerful way. Like, oh, I feel powerful, but it's just like really empowering, should I say? Like, yeah, it's great.
100%. How have you found it when it's like in regards to the guys that you choose to maybe see or give an opportunity to? In that sense, has that changed? Like, has it shifted the kind of guys you would choose now, or do you feel like you're still choosing kind of similar as before?
No, they would have to like have some form of relationship with God now, like, and be trying to work with that. Otherwise, there's just no point. Like,
that's the foundation.
God is the foundation of love. Like, God is love. So for me, if you're not trying to work on that, then there really isn't any point in me entertaining it.
What's something you would ask? Well, I guess you said man of God now. Does that mean that are there many people in alignment with you in your industry in that sense? Just because I've heard about how hedonistic it can be.
Listen, just because I'm trying to go into the industry doesn't mean I'm trying to go into that side of things. Like for real. And doesn't even mean that I want to like I ain't trying to date like other rappers and stuff. Like, you know, I'm not trying to get my feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm quite happy to not do that.
None of them loyal, Inks? So none of them loyal? They're all out here doing the most?
I'm joking. No. I've actually got some great male friends, and the way I see them treat their women, and their family, they do set pace for men in my life in a good way. Great. Not in a way that you have to compete with my male friend, just in a way that I see how good males operate on a respectful level. And I think, like I can't have anything less than that. Do you know what I mean? And so it keeps the standards up. When you, like I said to you before this, like you're the representation of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Big facts.
So same way when I see like my friend, you know, he treats his woman really well. I think, well, I see that. I think that's beautiful. I respect that. And same way I see that. And I think that's the same sort of thing that I will want when I have something with somebody as well. Yeah,
of course. I feel like there's this coming wave I've started to see of more, especially like young women, finding Christ, finding God, finding religion, finding this, stepping into this side and starting this path, especially with young women. It's slowly, but I've started to see more.
I think it's brilliant.
Why do you think it's happening?
Like a million reasons. I don't know. I feel like I could talk on that all day. I don't agree with modern day feminism. The base of feminism is that people should have equal rights, men and women. Of course. Modern day feminism is wild, and it's not really something that I can get behind. And also I think women, like, you grow up and you realize, so what? Now I've got to have the kids and work and do it. Like, bro, I'll happily cook. I'll happily be a mom.
Nah, you're strong, independent. Yeah, no, don't ask for a man to come take care of you.
And the thing is, like, I get that because I am independent and I have to be independent.
Sure.
I have to go get it. Like, do you know what I mean? Things didn't work out with my baby dad. I left him when our child was like 3 months old. So I had to go get it. If I chose to be a housewife at that point, I ain't been a housewife to nobody. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be a bum at that point. So I had to go get it. But I lost my train of thought there.
No, I was just saying, like, just more women are just, stepping into it.
That's what I was going to say. So I feel like women are getting to the point now where, like, we want to just have a family like that. Isn't that like the point of life? Like the family that you, in my eyes anyway, the whole point of life is the family you create, like the love that you experience. Because I'm very aware that I could achieve everything that I want musically, with acting, with whatever. Yes. But I ain't going to be happy if I don't come home to a house full of people that love me at the end of the day. I get to go home every day to my child. That is what fulfills me. The fact that I walk through the door to someone that loves me like that.
Yes.
And if I didn't have that, I'd be so lost. And even though it didn't work out with his dad, I still wholeheartedly believe that one day I will still be able to build a family and I will find a man that I'll be able to build a family unit with. My mom had a son And my dad is an amazing man, and he come in, and then he had a further 5 children with my mum. You know, there was 6 of us, and we had a big family.
Kudos to your mum, goddamn.
Yeah, and so it's like, you know, although I've experienced loads of shit stuff from men,
sure,
I've been a bitch as well, but I have seen the worst side of some men and stuff.
Yeah,
because of the people that I know and my dad and my brothers, I could never say like there ain't no good men or this, that. Like, you just
and it's I'm biased in saying this, but it's really refreshing and beautiful when you hear a woman talk so great about her dad, because I think as guys we don't see that a lot.
I love my dad.
You do. Really,
anyone that
100%.
meets me knows how much I love my dad.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's amazing that he's, you know, been that figure for you. I think it's really beautiful and it's important. How much do you think maybe, you know, girls who maybe say like all guys are trash and they don't treat us right, etc., etc. How much do you think maybe them not having a good male figure in their lives plays into that?
I think it definitely does play. You know, I have friends where their dads haven't been present.
Yeah.
And I think it's more with like what they'll treatment that they'll accept. And don't get me wrong, because I've accepted, I've been victim of taking shit off men before as well. But like the stuff that like they'll settle for, they'll take, or how much they love themselves or believe like in themselves. Like I literally grew up with a dad that every day of my life told me, you are the most beautiful girl and you can do whatever you want and you are the best and like you are like you are powerful, you can do whatever. So like I used to walk into a room and think it was mine, like, and that's still how I operate today though. Like
everything
genuinely,
the light touches is your kingdom.
For real though, like, because that's how my dad drilled it into my head. Like, not in a big headed way, but just in a deep, confident sort of thing that like, if I walk into a room and say if it's an interview, I already believe that I've got it. And even if I don't got it, it's because something else better is lined up, because that's just how my life works. Like that's, and I feel like if you believe that's how your life works, that is how your life then works. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you believe that you can't do shit or you can't get this, then you can't.
Yeah, I get that. Let me put the floor to you for one last time. Is there something you would ask all guys today if you could?
If I could ask all guys?
Yeah.
Yo, that's a mad question.
Yeah.
If I could ask all guys... Okay, if I could ask all guys, it would be, how long would you say it is before you know that you really fuck with that girl? Do you know what I'm saying?
As in that he wants to be with her?
Yeah, like invested. Because I've had guys before where they're like, where I've been like, I don't know if they're keeping me around, or if they're being straight up, and because in my mind, it's like, I would expect a guy to know in like, I don't know, the first couple months, like if it's going to be something they want to invest into. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah,
I hear that. I hear that.
And if it's not, then it's just like,
wait, so when
wasting time.
When you say invest, do you mean he wants to establish the relationship?
No, just invest time, like build something, like.
When does he know that he wants to build something with her?
Yeah, like something exclusively with a woman, like you're trying to build a connection. You're thinking, yeah, okay, I'm gonna see where this, like I want to see where this goes. Like,
yeah, of course. So one thing I would say, first off, guys, I think women know way quicker than guys do.
I agree.
A lot of the time, I think women. I've had some girls be like, yeah, I knew from the first day I want to be in a relationship with him.
Because women start at 100 and men start down here. That's what I believe.
When it comes to the emotional intimacy, yes.
Yeah.
When it comes to the physical intimacy, it's the other way around. Guys are like, I would sleep with her within the first 10 seconds. Women are like, I need to get to know, see if you're a great guy and that you're not a serial killer first.
Yeah, like,
do you know what I mean?
On like an emotional like thing though, yeah, I agree. Like,
do you know what I mean?
Women kind of start up here, like they meet a guy and they're like, yes, you're it. And you start at 100 and then you do something and it goes down and down. And then you're like, nah. And then you can build yourself back up. They can do stuff where you're like, actually, I love that side of your character. And you build, you can bring yourself back up here, but you start here.
Yes.
And all these little dickhead things you do, all the things you reveal about yourself, or the lies that you tell when you talk too long, do you know what I mean? They all boom, come out and knock your score down. Whereas like men start here and I feel like they just slowly, after they've seen something tick.
I agree. It's very much like that, because like I've had it before where where like maybe a girl's been like, it's funny because she's my girlfriend now, but we actually dated like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And she's gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say this anyway. From like the second week, she was like, so when are we making this relationship? I was like, you don't even know me. Like this has been 2 weeks. But no. But for guys, we definitely start from here and we build up for sure. Honestly, in terms of when a guy knows, I don't think it's like I think context is important. It's not like, okay, every guy in 1 month or whatever.
Of course, there's always that.
But I think for a guy, I think a key turning point is how a woman is with him in a moment where he is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, I think it's very difficult for guys to have trust to show that side to women
100%.
because for a lot of guys, it's burned them in the past. And two, when he finds a woman who he can do that and she provides the space for that she then almost becomes invaluable to him because that's quite difficult for a lot of guys say to find. But what guys will do that I think sometimes women don't realize is they will show a little bit of vulnerability first to see how you handle that before sharing the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, a guy might, and you have this perception of this guy you're seeing, like he's on his shit, he's confident, etc. He's doing bits, he treats you well, like things are going great. And guys sometimes do feel a pressure to maintain a level of image that's going to keep the attraction, right? But obviously guys are human as well. And a guy might just say to you, he might just be like, oh yeah, like, like I kind of didn't have a great day at work or something, like my boss is just really on my case. And he'll talk about it in a way that seems very minimal, but how a girl handles that is going to really determine how much he feels he can share. Because if she's like, oh, okay, like tell me, like, how did that make you feel? Like, how did that make you feel?
Do you think that's the nurturing aspect of a woman?
100%.
It's like when you experience how she nurtures you. That's
100%.
That's your, like, for you, that was your...
Completely, 100%, completely agree. Like the example I give, so like with my girlfriend, we went to a screening of a film I was in. This was last year, and she was like, the film had a part where a character died in it, basically, and I'd recently lost my dad at the time. So like, we're in the cinema, we're watching and stuff. And also it was dark, so I was like, no one could see me. But yeah, I got a bit tearful. Do you know what I mean? All of this stuff, because it was, hit home for me. And obviously she was next to me and, nothing was said or anything like that. And then I went and did a show that night and I was with a business colleague of mine. And then she called me and she was like, I was like, hey, you're good? She was like, yeah, I just wanted to like see how you were. And we weren't like official or anything at this point. We were like just kind of started things and stuff, seeing each other. But obviously we knew each other from before. And she was like, yeah, I know you just kind of had a bit of a moment in the cinema, but I didn't want to, say anything because we were in public and stuff like that. But I just wanted to check in and see that you're okay and see how you're feeling. And I was like, I was like, the last time a girl actually asked me how I felt about something, it's been a minute. And that's when I was like, nah, man. Do you know what I mean? That quality, because it's like ultimately, if you're looking for someone who's going to be the potential father of your children, you're looking for the qualities that are going to make them a good father. So as a guy, if he's looking for a woman who's potentially going to be the mother of his children, he's going to look for qualities that's going to make her a good mother.
100%.
So I would say that a lot of the time, how a woman can handle that vulnerable side of a guy honestly makes a guy go, this is a woman I can trust myself with. Do you know what I mean?
So I wanted to say, I think it's really cute that you dated like 5-6 years ago and now you're together now.
Yeah.
What 5-6 years ago, what didn't happen, or did you think of her in the 5-6 years? Was it like a back of your mind, like, or was it just like 5-6 years later, like boom, oh my god?
Yeah.
If you can answer.
I don't mind. I'm just quite private about this stuff, but I don't mind. So when we dated then, we were in very different spaces in the sense that I was young, careers just started taking off. I just like bought my place and stuff. So I was like, I'm ready for the bachelor life.
Okay, yeah.
And we both come from like Christian households and stuff, but she was very, very much on that vibe at that point. And so how we wanted to have relationships didn't line up. basically. And we dated for like several months. But then it got to a point that we just had different ideas of the kind of relationship we wanted to have.
Yeah.
I didn't want her to feel pressure to kind of have the kind of relationship I want, as well as, you know, I didn't want her to feel that she had to change what she wanted in terms of the kind of relationship for me. So I was like, we just don't align. So we went our separate ways. And then obviously, because she met my family that time, when she saw online my dad had passed, she got back in contact. And she's always supported me from afar. Yeah, I'm just saying, man, even though we weren't together, she's always been on my team.
I love that. No, that's
Like,
really beautiful.
and I've been in a relationship with women before where we're in a relationship and they're not on my team.
Yo, you can be dating your
Do you know
biggest
what I mean?
hater.
And I was like, raw.
Did you see that video?
Which one?
Of that mom, and she was like running a marathon or something, and just before she got to the finish line, her husband put both the kids on the track to hug her, which would have stopped her winning. She was about to win the race. And it was like, yo, that is her biggest hater. Why would the man
100%.
do that and use the kids? Emotional manipulation.
Facts,
Crazy.
big facts.
100.
So yeah, and then when we reconnected and stuff, obviously we both grown as people. If I'm just being honest, I just wasn't in a place in my life back then where I was looking. There's no other way to put it, but I'll say it this way: I wasn't looking for a wife.
Yeah, I hear that.
And obviously, you know, I'm older now, and you know, losing a parent ages your mindset a lot. And you start to see things that are actually important. And so, you know, and like I said, we both grew and matured in certain ways. And so this time it was just kind of like, yeah, I kind of look back, I'm like, raw, like there was just so many great qualities that I appreciate now that at that time I just didn't appreciate, and I was looking for different things.
Oh, that's such a beautiful story though.
Yeah.
That's a really nice story.
We'll see. We'll see. No, I'm joking. She's amazing. I appreciate her a lot, but she's very introverted as well. Like she would not come on this show at all. She would not come on. But listen, Inks, I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Having me.
If people want to find you, where can they find you?
On Instagram, missing7, TikTok 7missing. So yeah,
we'll take it. Well, guys, go show the good love. Give her a like. Give her a follow. Check out her music.
Yeah, man. A battle rapper as well.
You battle rappers? Oh, come on. Yeah, we got to see one of these. Do you do it up north a lot of the time?
London more time. So I've done 3 in London, 1 in Bristol.
Okay, you know what? I might have to hit that up. You know, come see you battle some rap. You know, we'll show up.
I'll
we'll turn up.
10th of August, London, my next battle.
Okay, we'll take it, man. We'll take it. Well, yeah, guys, go show Ink some love. Definitely bringing the goods on this episode. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.